This programme has been in part funded by Visit Cornwall.
Welcome to this week's Cornwall channel. As always, my name is Shane Solomon.
And my name is Mike Spinks. Here's what's coming up on this evening's show.
Claudia visits the stunning Minack Theatre at Porthcurno. Mike pays a visit to the Lobster Hatchery in Padstow to look at the wonderful conservation work they continue to do. Jake finds out how it's made at Tarquins Gin. And our music feature this week is with AA and The Bay, with their cover of Gangsta's Paradise.
Now, we're spoilt for choice in Cornwall with views, and none so other than our next piece, the Minack Theatre.
Indeed, we went down there with Claudia last week, and stunning views, absolutely stunning views. And what they do down there is amazing as well. You would have thought, consider it was built back in, I think it was early 1930s. It's just absolutely breathtaking. And like I said, amazing views as well. So this is Claudia's little piece about the Minack Theatre.
So we're here today at the Minack Theatre in Porthcurno. The Minack Theatre was founded, well, it began all thanks to a woman called Rowena Cade. In the winter of 1931, work began on the theatre, and her dream became a reality in 1932 when work finally finished and the Minack Theatre became what it is today. The first ever performance put on at the Minack Theatre was The Tempest by Shakespeare. So we're now joined by Phil Jackson, who is the theatre manager at the Minack Theatre. Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.
So what can you tell us about the theatre itself?
The theatre has been going just over 80 years now. Well, 1932 it opened. Built by one remarkable woman, Rowena Cade,
Yes.
who bought this piece of land and was interested in theatre. With the local people, created a theatre in a garden. It's a folly, really. She built for her friends and locals to perform in.
Lovely.
Over the years, it's taken on a bigger life. And nowadays, now we get to nearly 300,000 people through here every year. About 180, 200 performances in the summer, plays, musicals, opera. We're an educational charity, and so we do a lot of education work.
Oh, that's good.
We have our own Minack Youth Theatre, and we go out to schools, we give free workshops to Cornish schools. We have our own academy, training academy, so education is a big thing. But we are supported by the tourism side of Cornwall,
Yes.
so a lot of tourists come. So 200,000 or 200,000 of the 300 are tourists.
That's an amazing number, and I imagine that's quite busy over summer as well.
It's
then.
very busy in summer. It gives us a bit of a problem because the roads aren't built to take them, really.
True.
And that's one of the biggest problems that Cornwall suffers generally is traffic now. And so coming here, our roads are narrow. But when visitors come, they can look at us, look around during the day for small sections of the day usually, because we're at so many shows. During the summer, we've got shows either a morning or an afternoon, or an evening, sometimes 2 or 3 a day.
Oh wow, amazing.
So it's a busy place. So that's what we do, we're a busy place.
Well, that sounds great. So the youth theatre as well that you work with, do they put on shows as well in the main theatre?
We do, we open our season this year with The Secret Garden, which is our own production, which uses children from my Minack Youth Theatre. And then we do play in a day through the season to give lots of youngsters an opportunity to perform on stage.
That's amazing. So do they come from all over Cornwall?
They come usually West Cornwall, usually just half. It's a very old trip down from the other end of Cornwall. So most of our children come from Truro downwards, basically.
Oh, that's great. So do some of them stay on with you after as well?
Yeah, well, we've got some of our youngsters now have performed 2 or 3 years with us.
Amazing.
Yeah, so as they grow and go into the teenage side of things, there's other roles for them there.
Yeah, a nice theatre family feel to it then.
It's very much that feel, yeah.
So obviously we know that it was Rowena Cade that started everything. So can you tell us a little bit more about the history that comes with that part of it?
Yeah, well, she was born in Derbyshire in 1893, and then she moved to Cornwall with her mother in the 20s. And as I said, they bought this piece of land here and built the theatre. I mean, originally it just got involved with making an open-air theatre production of Midsummer Night's Dream in a local wood up the valley. And then they thought about, well, we could make a Tempest. We could do a Tempest somewhere on the cliffs, and her garden was the ideal place. Yeah. So with her gardener, they started terracing out a piece of the cliff. And in 1932, they put on the Tempest with members of her family, actors, local people from the valley, and that just started the ball rolling. And then, she spent 40 years of her life adding little bits here and there.
That's amazing.
No great plan. She just made it up as she was going along.
But this is what we're left with, the Minack Theatre.
This is what we have now.
It's something very special, isn't it?
And she was physically building bits of the theatre until she was in her 80s.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good effort. It's a true love for it then.
Absolutely, yeah. She was 83, I think, when she stopped physically working in the theatre.
That's amazing.
Physically making bits.
So yeah, I mean, that just shows the love that there is in the theatre community as well.
Yeah.
So just finally, if you can just let us know, what are the next upcoming shows that you have here?
Well, we do open with a couple of youth shows. One is Cornwall Youth Theatre's production of Wind in the Willows. That's just the week before Easter, and then 2 weeks over Easter we've got our own production, Secret Garden. Then we have several musical events, some of which are already sold out, and then we get into our main season, which opens up in the end of May, and from then we've got week-long musicals, opera, anything you like.
No, so a good variety then.
It's a heck of a variety, and then we also do storytelling morning events on Monday, Wednesday or Friday during school holidays, where we have about 800 children here and their parents every morning to watch the show.
That's a really good amount. So it's just easy enough to go to the website, book a ticket?
That's always the place to find information on the website. And that's the best time if you're coming to visit, always check a website to make sure we're open, because people do tend to just drive along and think, we'll just go and have a look and find we've got 800 people watching a show and they can't get in. And so it's always best to check out our website.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, and we're going to have a look around again now and just enjoy the lovely view and scenery. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. The Minack Theatre is now known as one of the world's most favourite outdoor theatres, and last year their doors opened to over 170,000 people. And with views like this and with amazing performances, it's not hard to see why.
So we are now down at the Lobster Hatchery down in Padstow. They did some phenomenal work down there with all their conservation work with the lobsters. A fantastic little piece. Find out a little bit more about this. So I'm now here with Carly. Carly, can you tell us a little bit about what actually happens here at the Lobster Hatchery?
Okay, so we are the National Lobster Hatchery. We're down in Padstow and Cornwall, and we were set up originally in response to kind of declining stocks in the lobster population seen around Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly. And we're basically a rear and release programme. So we're here for stock enhancement. We help support the natural fishery of lobsters around Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly. And what we do is basically raise lobsters up through their early vulnerable stages, where in the wild they're floating around in the plankton and fish food, and we give them a better chance of survival through those stages until they're small and basically able to fend for themselves in the wild, but a lot bigger than they were when they first started off on day one.
So you were saying earlier on there's a couple of different stages they go through, as you just mentioned. So at what stage do you actually end up releasing them?
So we tend to release them at about 3 months old, and they'll be about 1 inch long, and they're normally about stage 6, which doesn't mean much to the general person, but they molt basically 5 times to get to that 6th stage, and it's at that point that we know that they're truly benthic, which basically means bottom seeking, and they'll have the natural instinct to basically burrow and hide away.
And that's what keeps them safe from predators and allows them to get...
Yes, that's what gives them the ability to survive in the wild, something that they don't have in those early larval stages.
We can see the nursery behind us. Now there's a couple of different stages. We've got a maternity ward, as you said, as a rush. Should we go out back and have a closer look at that?
That sounds great.
So we're now in the hatchery. As you can hear, it's a little bit loud in here. We've got the salt water pumps behind us, so we'll have to talk up a little bit. But what have we got in front of us here, Carly?
So this is our maternity ward.
Yep.
This is where all the females come when they're brought in from the local fishermen.
Okay.
And the females have the eggs under the tail when they come in. So all the mating and maturation of the eggs is all done into the wild, and they're only brought in for us for that short period where they're ready to release their animals.
Fantastic. And then where do the juveniles go from here? You said they kind of float naturally to the top towards the line?
Yes. So basically the female does a headstand, sticks her tail in the air and flips what we call the pleopods, which are the feathery bits under the tail that the eggs are cemented to. The larvae will literally float to the surface because they're what we call phototaxic, so they'll float towards the light, and then they get automatically collected in our collection cone here. And from here they'll then be transferred into our main larval system.
So that was the nursery that we saw behind us earlier on.
Yep.
So how long are they in there for, roughly?
Normally about 2 weeks in the larval system.
Okay.
They molt through those 3 planktonic stages, and then once they reach their 4th stage, they're transferred out into what we call our juvenile system.
And that's the section that we can just see just behind camera over here. So these tubes, you're saying these are to help with feeding, essentially. Is that how that works?
So they help separate the animals. Unfortunately, lobsters are cannibalistic. They like to eat each other. So we have to keep them separated. So this system manages to keep them separated and makes feeding very easy.
Okay.
So basically you pour the food in at the top, it gets circulated round and the lobsters can feed on it as it floats through their little system that they're in.
And then from here you hand them off to local divers or the fishermen who then essentially allow them to get released back out into Cornish waters again?
Yeah, we do. So we work with kind of local divers. We'll donate the lobsters to the divers and they can actually take them right down to the seabed and kind of give them that real safe transit to where they'll stay for the next few years of their life.
So I'm dying to meet one of these guys up close and personal. Can we go and do that now?
Yeah, we certainly can. These ones are actually hatching, so we won't disturb these ones, but we'll get one from the other system that's not quite ready to hatch yet.
Brilliant, let's go and do that.
Well, our thanks to the Padstow Lobster Hatchery. You must have really enjoyed that. What great
I did. They did some great work down there. We even got to handle some of the lobsters down there as well. Fantastic work. We're coming up for an ad break now, so we'll see you directly.
Are you missing calls? 75% of people don't like leaving answer phone messages. What opportunities could you be missing out on in your business? Fonetta Business offers a solution with its telephone answering service. Our dedicated business team answer your calls as your business and can text or email you straight away. From as little as £1 per call, can you afford to miss your next customer? Contact us to try our 14-day free trial now. Fonetta. Communication made easy.
So you're stuck for ideas of what to do with the kids? Try something different. Try Player Ready in Redruth. They have loads of the latest virtual reality games, including racing simulators with hundreds of car types and tracks. We are also Cornwall's only indoor roller disco. They also offer amazing games packages for kids and adult birthday parties, stag and hen do's and team building. There's also a cafe serving great food and drink, and parking is free. Player Ready VR Redruth, and coming soon to St Ives.
From the installation of boilers to the repair of central heating systems, we have the experience and expertise to handle it all. We offer a complete range of boiler installation, servicing, maintenance and repair services, along with a 24/7 breakdown service at reasonable prices. All our heating experts are gas safe and Offtech registered. If your fuel is gas, oil or LPG, we can help. Call us today to find out more or visit www.rapidheatingsw.co.uk.
For great food, friendly accommodation and delicious local ales, come to the Griffin Inn in Newquay. Our Cornish restaurant and bar menu offers a traditional menu incorporating homemade dishes using fresh local produce wherever possible. Not forgetting our very popular Sunday carvery and sizzling steak nights. It is the ideal place to stay for business, a holiday or a short break in Cornwall. Visiting Cornwall? Think the Griffin Inn Newquay. Treat your senses to the finest flavours of South Korean and Asian at Zen Noodle and Wine Bar in the centre of Truro. Zen is a great contemporary place to dine, delivering modern Asian fusion cuisine, all cooked fresh to order with no MSG. Authentic South Korean barbecue grills at selected tables. Truro's hidden gem, the Zen of Zen.
Since 1994, independent estate agent Jackie Stanley and her team have been looking after property owners and buyers from the Harbourside office in Padstow. Covering a whole of North Cornwall, it's important to Jackie that great care and attention is paid to all clients, and that herself and her staff go the extra mile to achieve satisfaction for her buyers and sellers alike. Honesty, integrity and discretion are key in our outstanding sales record. Visit Jackie Stanley online or pop in and see her in Padstow.
So our first piece this evening, Jake popped down to Tarquins Gin to find out how they make their Cornish gin, something he was very excited about doing. Take a close look at this.
So we're now here in the distillery and I'm joined by Tarquin, who is the founder of Southwestern Distillery. Thank you so much for letting us come in here today, have a look around.
No problem at all.
So can you give us a little bit of history about Southwestern Distillery?
So we are a gin distillery. We started up in 2013 and I went from making gin on a cooker at home on a 0.7 litre still to making, or rather being Cornwall's first commercial new gin distillery in 100 years. So our flagship gin is a London dry style of gin, but we call it a Cornish dry gin, and it's made in one of these fantastic copper stills behind us. This is our original one called Tamara.
So in terms of production, how many bottles do you make here a year?
So we're just over 5 years old now, 5.5 I think to be exact, and we can produce over 1,000 bottles a day.
Wow.
So it's pretty seasonal, but the summer and Christmas we're working flat out.
So I've got lots of experience in drinking gin,
Yeah.
but I have no idea how to make it.
Okay.
So how do you start?
So gin, by EU definition, is a spirit predominantly flavoured with juniper berries. So juniper berries are these fantastic little, quite complex pine cones actually. So they're from a pine bush. There's several ways to make gin. We make it as distilled gin, also in the London dry style. So there's very small criteria. And we flavour our gin with the juniper berries and alongside 11 different botanicals, where botanicals are fruits, herbs, plants and spices. We flavour our gin via the method of distillation. So the still behind us does the hard work in the distillation, but effectively what we do is throw our unique recipe. So we have 12 ingredients in our flagship gin recipe, and we soak them or macerate these ingredients overnight in the copper pot still, and that's inside a neutral grain spirit. So a neutral grain spirit is very much the blank canvas for which we use to impart all of the unique flavors into the spirit. They release all of their essential oils. Lots of these botanicals are dried and the liquid breathes life back into them, extracts the essential oils, and then in the morning, so they soak overnight for 15 hours. In the morning we turn, on the old stills we turn a gas burner on the new still we turn a steam coil on, and as soon as the liquid starts to boil, the vapor brings with it all of those amazing flavors from the botanicals. So the essential oils effectively is what it's taking with it. And a copper still is pretty much just a kettle with a lid on it. So the vapor rises up the still, it's trapped, it's got absolutely nowhere to go, and it's forced through the condenser. And that process of heating up and cooling down the vapor forces that neutral spirit in the pot to turn into a flavored spirit at the end. But the magical, or the really cool aspect of it is that the flavor changes throughout the course of the 6 hours. So initially you get all of the citrusy flavors. We use things like orange peel, lemon peel, grapefruit peel in our recipe. And then you finish the run with lots of those juniper flavors, the piney, intense juniper notes, which we all know and love as gin.
Each bottle of gin has got the iconic wax finish, and Tarquin's now going to show me how to do this, and he's even going to let me have a go myself, which is actually something I've wanted to do for a long time. So
excellent.
So let's see how you do it.
So this is one of the best parts of the job, believe it or not. And yeah, every bottle is finished by hand. So we also sign the bottles, and after they're signed by hand with their unique character tasting notes, we then do the seal. So I think it's a legal requirement to have a tamper-proof seal on your bottle of spirit, and this is the cool way that we do it. So you take the bottle of gin, be very careful with the hot wax. Just dip it in. And you've got to be very careful because you want to drip, but not too much of a drip. Okay. So we've got a house standard in the distillery. Some people are known for being better dippers than others. We finish it off with a wax seal as well. And that should be done. So you can have a go now if you fancy it. So
yeah, why not? Let's,
safety first. Here are the gloves.
Put the gloves on. Right, should we go for this one then?
Yeah, so hold it with the base. Try and dip it in maybe about 10 centimetres, 8 centimetres.
Okay, so down to about there.
Yeah.
And then out.
Yeah, so let it, a little bit of a drip. Excellent.
And then put that one down there.
And then try and line up the...
And considering...
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Not bad for a first
I've
go
seen
anyway.
I've seen a lot worse, actually.
Okay.
I think that might pass the quality control test.
Well, that's good to know. And well, considering you make over 300,000 bottles a year, and every one is hand dipped, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so you must go for a lot of wax.
A lot of wax, yeah, a lot of wax dipping.
So I think the final thing is for us to go and crack open a bottle and try some. So should we go and do that?
Yeah, fantastic.
Cool. So now we're going to taste some gin. So this is your original gin.
Exactly.
And so what kind of flavour profile is going to be in this?
So our flagship Cornish Dry Gin is a floral and citrus-led gin, and our signature botanicals are violets, and then lots of fresh citrus zest, so orange, lemon and grapefruit. Of course you have the juniper, and then some lovely other classical gin ingredients to give it a lovely rounded, smooth finish. So I'll pour out a little sample neat. Great, so you can kind of treat it a little bit like a wine.
Okay.
And on the nose you get lovely, smooth, fresh juniper. All the citrus is fresh as well, so it's quite a bright, zesty kind of first impression. And then when you come to taste it, so if you kind of just sort of rest it, it is 42%, so quite punchy, but you'll notice it's lovely and smooth, very soft, very easy drinking, and has this, again, lightly spiced finish from the cardamom, but also quite violety, quite a floral finish as well. Makes an absolutely fantastic martini.
I'll have to give that one a go.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for today, and it's been absolutely great. Got to dip my first Tarquins bottle, and so again, good luck with everything that you're doing in the future. Can't wait to see everything else that you're going to be bringing out and doing.
Great.
And it was great to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So music now here on the Cornwall channel, and as always we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a relative or a friend who's got a band in Cornwall, they've got a music video made, get in touch with us on all our social media platforms. They're on the screen now, or you could even email us, studio@cornwallchannel.co.uk, and we can get one of your songs on future programmes. But right now though, we have the music video this week from AA and the Bay. Check this out. This is Gangsta's Paradise.
Shadow of death. I take a look in my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk and know that's unheard of. You better watch out you talking, the way you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trick, so I gotta low. As I see myself sitting in the pits of smoke. Fool, cause I'm the kind of G your little homies wanna be. Like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look the situation they got me facing. I can live a normal life. I was raised by the streets, so I gotta be down by the hood beat. Too much television, watch me got me chasing trees. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tan in my hand and the gleam of my eye. I'm a Looked out gangster, set tripping banger. So look at yourself in anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life for a tire. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24 the way things are going? I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the world's here are you and me? Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them look what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, the body's here to teach me. They can understand it, how can they reach me? Guess you can, guess you won't, guess you love her. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
I thought that cover was absolutely fantastic.
It was unbelievable. Really enjoyed the video as well. Bit of an edgy one this week. Really good.
Please make sure you send us some pictures of you rocking out to our music videos, please. We do get people finding us on our Sky show and messaging us each week, but we really do like to see them, so please keep sending them in.
Definitely, and as we mention all the time, you can send those over Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or if you want to email them, studio@cornwallchannel.co.uk. We love getting all your messages, so please do keep sending them in.
Yeah, please don't make us sit here alone. We'll see you next week. This programme has been in part funded by Visit Cornwall.
At Cornish Gems, we have over 180 luxury holiday cottages across Cornwall, ready for you to fall in love with. All of our beautiful self-catering homes are hand-picked by our local team and meet the highest quality, cleanliness and safety standards, so you can relax and enjoy your dream holiday in Cornwall. Whether you want to visit the famous harbour town of St Ives or explore the long sandy beaches of Newquay, at Cornish Gems we have a gem waiting for you. Visit our website to view our tempting collections or call our local travel advisors today.
Need a drone? Or a smaller drone? Or a bigger drone? Or maybe a battery, memory card, bag or merch? Or whatever these are, to help you get shots like this. This. Or even this. Or you can even win £2,500 to spend in store or online in our monthly competition for only £2 per entry. Get everything you need at hobbymounts.co.uk.
Have you been to Bodmin Jail? Immerse yourself in the history and atmosphere of the former county prison. Spend the night in jail with our resident medium. Visit the tea room. Dine in the Governor's Hall and experience our fine cuisine, or why not sample our delicious Sunday lunch? So much going on. Wednesday ghost walks. Thursday scary cinema night. Friday and Saturday after dark experience. Weddings and daily heritage tours. Bodmin Jail. So much more than an attraction.